Hey, what's up, everybody? Fat Merrill. I got Kristen back in the studio with me today. We're going to talk about all kinds of things. She's got some interesting stuff she's had going on in her life, so buckle up. Here we go. Kristen, what do you got going on?
Well, we talked about dating last time.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's my only form of entertainment right now, so we're going to talk about it again.
All right. That'll work.
All right, so you know about the wizard. That was a bad experience.
Yeah,
bad
I think we talked about it on here last time.
We did. So after the wizard, I'm looking for a normal dude, right?
Yeah.
I want a normal guy who's not incredibly attractive, who maybe has some kids. He's just a dad, right?
Yeah.
Find one of them, right? Okay. Works in the oil field. Seems like he's an all right guy. He's got 3 kids. Just a regular...
Oh, the guy you found.
The guy I found.
Oh, okay.
Regular looking guy, right? You're like, no ego there, probably.
Mm-hmm.
So, I figured he probably had a small penis. I figured right. I was okay with that for a little bit.
Okay. Small penis. If everything else is good, you can
Yeah, if everything else is good, you can overcome the small penis.
Okay.
All right, so, oh, man.
That's why I've got a great personality. It's the only reason my wife stuck with me.
Personality, hey, that's a big thing.
Yeah.
It's a big thing.
Sense of humor.
Yeah, he had quite the personality. Didn't have a sense of humor, really, though.
Okay.
So, let me ask you, before we start talking about this particular last incident, what's the worst thing? What's the worst thing you can hear after sex? What's the worst phone call you can get? From someone you just had sex with.
Oh, by the way, I have something?
Okay. What,
I mean,
though?
that would be... Like, I'm thinking, like, STD-wise. Like, you get a phone call and you're like, hey, by the way, I forgot to tell you I got herpes.
Right. Right.
Slipped my mind,
Right.
know?
Are we live?
No, it's not live. No,
okay,
not
we're
live.
Live. All right, so...
I'll record it and upload it later.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, so the worst phone call you can get after sex.
I guess... Oh, I forgot to tell you I'm married?
How about, I have bed bugs?
Oh.
Josh.
Josh. You went to his house?
Went to his house. Yeah. And I get a call or a text the next day. The text is like, "Hey, got something to tell you. It's kind of funny, but don't be mad." Yeah.
Did he knew about it before?
I think he knew about it. Yeah, he acted like he didn't. He was like, "Oh, I just found out I had them, and I have to get rid of them." But no, I think he knew he had them.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Have you checked everything?
I don't have them at my home, thank goodness.
Yeah.
You know, I'm good with that. But yeah, so that's probably one of the worst phone calls you can get after sex, unless you're a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's, oh, by the way.
I'm pregnant.
Yeah. Yeah. Bed bugs are tough, man.
Are they?
And here's my deal. It's like, I remember when I was a kid growing up, you know, like people would, you know, your folks would kiss you goodnight, and you're a little kid and being tucked in, and it was like, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. Mm-hmm. For the majority of my life, I didn't know the bed bugs were a real thing. I thought it was just something that people said, like it was an old person thing or whatever. And then, all of a sudden, bed bugs is like taking over the world. Mm-hmm. And it's a bad deal because, you know, and I know people that have had that battle, and it's been and they're you know, it's embarrassing, you know, oh my God, I don't want anybody to know. But then there's, you know, hell, if you travel a lot and you stay in hotels, there's a good chance you're going to encounter them.
Yeah.
If you catch them at your house fairly quick, I mean, from what I understand, you can knock them out. But if they bunker in,
well, they were bunkered in there.
They were bunkered
in there. So I have reason to
suspect.
Damn
you, Josh.
He had them for a long time. Yeah. They didn't affect me. Like I said, I'm good. I didn't take any home with me.
Yeah.
I went home and I made sure. But yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
So it is tough, you know, and that's when I had first met this guy, right? So I'm thinking, I'm not going to judge him. Anybody can bring bed bugs home. Yeah. I'm just not going to go to his house anymore.
Right.
So he takes all the appropriate measures to get rid of them, and we continue talking, you know, throughout the whole, it was only like a month and a half.
Yeah.
But he was kind of fast and quick with everything, you know, like, meet my kids, let's get our kids together.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, these are my parents. And I'm like, whoa, that's a lot, you know?
Yeah.
So, naturally, somebody doing that, you expect, okay, well, I guess this person's kind of serious or wanting to go down that road.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
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 Oh. Where'd it go from there?
Where'd it go from there? Well, it can't get much worse than bed bugs, I guess. But let's see, where did it go from there? That's when I found out he had a small penis.
Okay.
You know, you can work with those things. But, you know, foreplay, it was like he was a handicapped gynecologist. So, not even that was good.
A handicapped gynecologist?
Yes.
Oh,
He's
gosh.
down there, and I'm like, what is he doing? And I'm move his hand to the right spot, and he'd put it back where he knew what the fuck he was doing. Like, he doesn't know what he's doing. He needs to listen to me. No. Yeah.
Wow.
So he did not score well in that department. And still, I'm over here like, this is a good dude. Like, he's got these kids, and he has them part of the month, like half like joint custody, and he's all about his kids, and I'm just not going to give up on this. This is a good guy, right?
It's very nice of you.
Yeah. Apparently I need to raise my standards a little. So we go on this,
This is y'all went camping.
We went camping.
Yeah, okay.
We
I knew
camping.
you went camping.
Well, we rented this, his friends rented this cabin in eastern Oklahoma, and we all went, and they were nice people. Everything was cool. He was drunk the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah, which, I mean, is fine. I don't really drink. He was drunk the entire time. He talked about himself non-stop. From the minute we got there till the minute we left, he told the most embarrassing stories about his prostate.
Well, you got a problem with it?
I don't know if he has a problem with it or not, but he told some really weird stories about how the only way he could get off sometimes is if he goes and leans against the edge of a desk and his prostate...
What?
Yes! So, at this point, when we're on this camping trip with his friends, they're all laughing, and they're all laughing at all these stories he's telling. And I have this moment of what possibly could be clarity, and I think to myself, is this guy retarded? Like, no, I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm like, is he mentally challenged? And I just am wanting to see so much good that I've somehow missed it.
Yeah.
You know, like, all these people are humoring him with these, like, bad stories and jokes, and...
So you think they're like pity laughs?
I really don't know, honestly.
Yeah.
Either there's something wrong with me, or there's something wrong with all of them. I don't know. It could go either way. But they were all laughing at these stories. They thought they were hilarious. They got really more embarrassing than just the prostate stuff, but, yeah.
It gets more embarrassing than have to lean against the desk?
Yes, for sexual pleasure.
Wow.
Yeah. So he's the type of person that will talk over somebody if they're talking.
I hate
It's
that.
like constantly having a 5-year-old with you that you just doesn't know social rules, you know? So if somebody else would be talking, he'd be like, hey, and then he would have to talk over them, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't talk the whole weekend. So we get ready to go to bed, and obviously we're sharing a room and we're sharing a bed, and I'm thinking to myself, thank God, like, it's quiet. I can go to sleep. I had to walk away, you know, at some points in the day and get some time by myself because it was a lot.
Yeah.
So we're laying there in bed, and I wouldn't be damned if he starts talking in his fucking sleep.
Talking in sleep too.
Yes!
Just like mumbling?
No, he's having full-on conversations about his bank account that only has $16 in it.
Did you ask him questions?
I didn't. I wanted to, but I didn't. I should have. He talked about his bank account and bowling.
Really?
Yeah.
Bowling?
Bowling.
Oh, wow. That sounds exciting.
It was an exciting conversation there at night with no sleep.
One of our sons talked in his sleep. But it didn't last very long. But I definitely asked him questions just to try to fish information out.
Get anything out of
But
him?
he was young, so it was more about have you been doing your schoolwork and stuff like that. And I mean, he would answer.
Really?
But then he outgrew it and he doesn't do it anymore. So now he's probably lying to me about all kinds of shit, and I can't get no info.
Well, I should have been more willing to take advantage of this sleep issue probably a week or two prior than I did. You know, I would have found out more information that would have been beneficial at that point.
Yeah.
Not like I didn't have enough already.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a small penis, bed bugs. Like I said, he's not good at foreplay. Talks about himself constantly. And here I am just like, I think this guy's a good guy. I'm going to look past all this stuff. And you know where looking past all that stuff got me? You know where it got me?
Get you here.
Well, yeah, let's have this conversation. Yeah, so when I said that I was looking for a relationship, I kind of don't think I meant with you. Probably my maybe ex-wife. Because he's going through a divorce. Right.
Oh, wow.
So So after all of this, then he drops this bombshell, which would have been beneficial to know a month ago.
Yeah.
Even 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even... which and I've talked to you about this, about the online dating stuff before. If people would be honest and say, like, hey, I'm just looking for a hookup. Mm-hmm. As long as they're honest up front, hey, maybe that can work out. Maybe that could be beneficial for both of us. But to say you're in it for a relationship, so now you're matched up with somebody who's also looking for a relationship, and you just wanted to hook up, now there's a problem.
Yeah, now there's a problem.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you going to take a break for a while?
Hell no. I'm going to get right back there on that horse.
Wow. Not that horse. You're going to find
a different one.
Yeah, you're going to find a bigger
horse. Bigger horse. Bigger horse.
Oh, God.
I don't get dudes with undercover.
Is he from here?
Ooh. He is...
From this area?
He is from, let's say you go about 30 minutes north.
Okay.
Before you get to Oklahoma City. So we'll say he's between here and Oklahoma City.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I was just there yesterday.
You were?
Yeah. What'd you say his name was?
I'm not telling you.
Oh, God.
You might know him. After we turn the cameras off, I'll tell you his name. But on the camera, I am not saying what his name is. Not his last name, anyway.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I do know something by that first name up there.
What does he look like?
A couple.
What does he look like?
The first one that's coming to my head is an oil field guy. He wears glasses.
This guy's in the oil field, but he doesn't wear glasses.
He doesn't wear glasses?
No.
Okay. It's not the one that I was thinking of then. Anyway.
Is that one single? I'm just kidding.
No. That would have been the issue.
I'm just kidding.
Man. I don't know. What are you doing?
I don't know. So why? Let me ask you. Why is a guy for almost a month and a half? Why after a month and a half?
Well, I think a big part of it could be there's several things. One could be like he was just looking for some.
Can you just say that in the beginning?
But for the most part, guys don't think that works. They think that they have to be offering more.
Oh, okay.
So that's why they're hey, let's see where this goes. But in the meantime, we can fool around. Or he could tell that you just weren't feeling it, so he wanted to throw that out there to make it like it was his idea before you had a chance to say that you weren't interested.
I don't think he's that smart.
Well, yeah, but you also say he's he talked about himself the whole time.
Yeah.
So he's very, what's that called?
Egotistical.
Yeah.
What's the other word for it?
I don't know. There's a damn word for it. We were just talking about another guy that's like that. But, yeah, all about himself. Mm-hmm. And most guys that are like that, they don't handle being shot down or whatever. So,
I didn't think about that.
Self-defense, he was like, oh, she's not digging me, so I'm going to break this off before she can. That way I can tell everybody it was my idea.
Well, he did say that, he didn't really want to let go of his the woman he was going through a divorce with. So.
Yeah.
So. Who knows?
I don't know. I mean, if you're not interested in moving on, what are you doing on a dating app?
Well,
is that what you met him? You met him on a dating app?
It's so weird. He sends me a friend request on Facebook, right?
Okay.
So I'm in radio, and I usually accept all friend requests. I accept it. And he talks to me a little bit, but it's just normal conversation. It's not like what I'm used to getting. I'm used to getting like homemade porns. Yeah. That dude from Duncan, you can stop. We've got our good laugh out of that.
Yeah.
So.
Sorry, I'll quit sending that.
No, I'm used to getting that kind of stuff. So when a guy pops up in my messages and he's just acting normal and asking questions, I'm like, oh, okay, this is a good guy, normal guy,
Yeah.
And I saw him on a dating app like maybe three weeks later. Mm-hmm. And I sent him a message jokingly, hey, we're both on the same dating app. So it just, at that point, he was like, we should go out, we should do something,
Yeah. What about his friends that went with y'all? Were they other couples?
Mm-hmm. They were all couples except for me and him.
Were they all pretty nice folks or seemed normal?
They were pretty nice folks, but I have this theory. I feel that I was enlisted and used specifically for this couple's vacation because it was already paid for.
And he didn't have nobody to go with.
Right.
now, so
Right.
he needed somebody to fill the spot on the boat.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, you got a free trip out of it.
I did get a free trip, but it
Wish
was like babysitting the whole damn time.
Wish it would have
though.
been more fun, but
It was like babysitting the whole time.
yeah.
I had to leave. I had to smoke. I had to take some time to myself.
Had to go relax.
I had to go
find
relax.
your zen.
I had to find my zen a lot of times that weekend. Yeah.
Oh man.
And we're playing this dating game with these other couples, and we obviously don't know each other like that, and so we're not going to get all these questions, and they're aware of that. So they ask him the easiest question in the world. They're like, Josh, what color are her eyes? You know what he says?
He said blue.
He said, I don't know.
Oh, you just said I don't know.
Yeah. The dude's known me for like a month, maybe 4 or 3 weeks at this
He
point.
didn't know you had a head.
Yeah, he didn't know I had a head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, his eyes never got up that far.
No, probably not.
I learned this a long time ago. It's one of the first things. Like when I meet somebody new, I try to pay attention to stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
so that later on, if you're caught in one of those pop quizzes,
Yeah.
like, I know, I
Yeah.
paid attention.
That's a normal thing everybody should know after 3 weeks of looking at someone in the face. You know,
Yeah.
your eye color. I can tell what your eye color is, kind of.
Mine changes.
It changes. Yours is
It does.
hazel.
Yeah, yeah, and then sometimes I get like real green,
Mm-hmm.
which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, it's the most exciting thing about me is that my eyes change colors.
Well, the most exciting thing about me are the people I find on dating apps. So,
Yeah, you're gonna have to. Did you add more? Remember we talked about you were gonna like add more detail, more like something to your bio on your dating app thing.
no, because obviously nobody looks at it. So,
Okay.
I don't think it would make a difference.
Well, you don't know that they don't look at it because you don't have anything on there.
I talked to someone for 3 weeks that didn't even know what my eye color was. So, no, they're not going to look at what's on my dating profile.
I think it would help. It certainly can't hurt.
Will you write it for me?
Yeah, I'll make it up.
What
up.
would my dating bio be if you had to make it up?
Well, I don't know, because how personal do you get on there? You know?
I don't obviously get personal at all.
Yeah.
But you know me well enough that first of all, you have to say no wizards.
Yeah, no wizards.
No wizards.
You know, I don't know. For you, I would probably say something about, recently divorced, single mom, hardworking entrepreneur looking for a serious relationship.
No bed bugs.
Yeah. No bed bugs, no wizards. Penis size we can work with.
Yeah, we can work with penis size.
Yeah. To go back to it's not the size of the boat thing. It's the motion of the ocean.
There you go. He didn't have that either.
I feel like that saying was made up by dudes with small penises.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, I've used it many a time in my life.
Well, I feel like if you have a small penis, you got to have something going for you. Like,
oh, absolutely.
What is it?
Absolutely.
What is it?
You got to have a personality.
You got to have personality.
Yeah, is
an awful one? Does that count?
No. Not if you want them to stick around.
Mm-hmm.
It helps to have a good personality, something. Because if you're not packing anything for them to look forward to, they gotta just look forward to conversation.
Yeah.
You gotta have good jokes. You gotta something. You gotta have something to offer.
There is that bourbon going down, Matt. My acid reflux.
It's hell getting old, ain't it?
It is. It is. You have to seriously think about every drink.
Remember when you drink whatever you wanted?
And feel nothing.
Yeah, get up early and go to work the next day.
Yeah.
Hangovers didn't even happen.
Nope.
Now
Not anymore.
I gotta plan out. If I'm gonna go on a bender and go heavy this weekend, I need Monday and Tuesday to recoup.
Right, and that can happen, and you can not even drink at this age and just stay out all night. And
Yeah,
then,
just not get enough sleep.
Just not get enough sleep,
Yeah.
and then you feel like you're completely just drunk.
Yeah, it is tough. It is tough.
So my asshole meter, as far as
Yeah.
knowing, what guys are assholes and isn't, is apparently broken.
Yeah, yours is broke.
It's very broke. I don't know how to fix it.
I think you just need to start being a little pickier. It's okay to be picky. It's okay to be picky.
My dating life lately has been Okay, you know when people go drop things off at Goodwill?
Yep.
And then there's things that don't make it in Goodwill,
Uh-huh.
so they go outside of Goodwill, and people use them as rags and things.
That's where you've been picking stuff up
That's where I've been
at?
picking stuff up at.
Yeah. I agree with that analogy.
I mean, I'm not saying that some
Judging
of
on
the
your
people
stories.
weren't attractive. I'm just saying, I've been going out there to the Goodwill's garbage bin.
Yeah. Even really nice clothes can be wore out
Hey, they can.
and just not worth having anymore.
True.
And that's what you've been picking up.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
you've been picking up Gucci bags that the handle's been ripped off of.
I don't know about Gucci bags. I refuse to give any of them that much credit. Maybe the Wizard, possibly. He was a couple handles loose somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. He had looks going for him, but everything else was...
Everything else was completely,
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't in the small category, He was blessed. He was a blessed gentleman.
Yeah. He probably sold his soul to get that thing.
Probably.
Cast a spell to get it.
Probably. So, is it worse getting dumped by somebody that is more attractive than you, or getting dumped by somebody who is not in your league and a little beneath you? Which do you think would hurt worse?
I guess it'd probably hurt if you felt like you were out of their league to begin with, and they still dumped you. I mean, that would hurt.
Yeah.
I've never had that. I've never felt like I was out of anybody's league. I have always felt like I was playing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it hurts worse to be dumped by somebody who is beneath your league, right?
Yeah.
Because you kind of, like I did with this last guy, you go down to that level and you're like, oh, I'm just so accepting of all these things, and you're really not what I'm used to, but this is like what people do to find real true love, all that other bullshit. It hurts worse to get dumped by somebody beneath you than it does to get dumped by somebody above you, because if you're getting dumped by somebody above you, at least you're like, hey, I had that.
Yeah, there you go. But, and this is something else I've already said to you, what are you doing looking for true love?
I guess I'm not anymore. This is where my number flashes across the bottom of the screen.
No, I won't.
Yeah, don't go there.
Yeah, not for a good time, I was going to say.
Don't go there.
For a very forgiving date.
For a very forgiving date,
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, not for a good time. It's not like a bathroom stall wall or nothing.
Nah.
Man, I think maybe you need to sit the bench for a little bit.
But what am I going to do if I sit on the bench?
Relax.
Watching everybody else just out there playing the game.
Yeah, watching everybody else get played by the game.
True, very true.
Maybe you can sit back and learn from other people's mistakes for a little while instead of being the front runner.
You're such a good advice giver.
Yeah, I am. You should listen.
Maybe I will listen this time.
No,
Probably
I don't think
not.
you will. I don't think you. I think
Gotta have something to do this weekend.
I think that here before too long we'll be back on here talking about another one of these.
Well, we will probably be doing that.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry that didn't work out, or I'm sorry that it turned out the way that it did.
So if you were me, situation was flipped. Would you have dated this person? If the bed bug situation come up and you were like, bed bugs, what would you say?
Like I said, I can see overlooking that because would you say he's an oil hand?
Mm-hmm.
He's staying in hotels all the time.
Oh no, he's in the one area.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I just don't hold bed bugs against people too much because because I know it's rampant, and I mean, if you go anywhere and you stay in hotels, you're definitely likely to come in contact, or that's just bad luck. It's not necessarily like they're living dirty or nothing like that. So
Right.
I see you overlooking that one. That's okay. Hey, if you knew about it, I wish you'd have said something ahead of time. We definitely could have met someplace else or whatever until you get that under control. But I can see you overlooking that one.
At what point would you have backed out on the date? On the whole situation?
Okay, so I'm assuming that you found out about small penis, and then the next day is when you found out
About bed bugs.
about bed bugs.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in that order. It's chronological.
So, and then was the camping trip.
Yeah. So I probably should have backed out before the camping trip. Hindsight's always 20/20.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, and you'd had conversation with him. You knew that he wasn't a great conversationalist.
True. Well, he is a wonderful conversationalist about himself.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know. Yeah, I probably wouldn't have gone on the camping trip.
Dang it, I wish I could go back and redo that.
What else could you have done that weekend?
Oh my God. I could have sat home and watched the Amazing World of Gumball Marathon.
You could have come to Muskogee with us.
You were in Muskogee.
Yes.
Oh my God. I should have been in Muskogee.
I got a call from the theater in Muskogee today. They want to reschedule and do another show.
They do?
Yep.
Well, I will be at that one. Probably dateless. Probably dateless.
It won't be until later in the year. But we do have shows coming up this weekend, or Thursday and Friday of this week.
Where at?
Thursday will be in Duncan at Drillers Nightclub.
Ooh, that's fun.
And then Friday will be at Backroad Ale House in Apache.
You remember the last time I went to Drillers Nightclub after one of your performances? I was meeting a blind date there.
Yeah.
Remember that? I probably should have
He
called.
seemed like a nice guy.
Yes, he did seem like a nice guy.
He seemed like awkward, like he wasn't sure. But I think that could have had a lot to do with, like, first of all, meeting somebody new. Second of all, there were other people there that you knew, so he automatically felt like he was in your element and not in his.
I should have called that one back.
He seemed like a nice guy.
Yeah.
He was a good-looking guy, too.
Yeah, he actually was.
Yeah.
He actually
Why didn't you ever call him back?
I don't know. Because I have bad judgment.
I was like, man, this is going too good.
Yeah,
Throw this one out the window.
Probably.
Yeah.
But then you're going to be in Apache.
That was the only time you met him? That was the only time y'all ever...
Twice. We just met twice.
You met twice? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Apache the next night.
Yeah, on Friday.
So Apache's before?
No.
Okay, I'm
Doing
confused.
Drillers in Duncan on Thursday.
Oh, on Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Apache's on Friday.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm still getting used to the fact that people have social lives on a Thursday afternoon, evening. Night.
We have a big group of friends that go out to karaoke on Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
Up in the city.
Mm-hmm.
And every once in a while we'll go up there and meet them out. We can't do that very often, because, I mean, it's an hour and a half drive for us to get there.
Right.
And then you drink the whole time you're there, at least I do. That makes Thursdays rough. So we can't do that very often. But, yeah, they go out and it's a big group.
Mm-hmm.
Every Wednesday they're out drinking and singing. And I ain't much of a singer, so I don't have a problem letting that. I sing one song every time we go.
Which one is it?
Show Them to Me.
That's a Rodney Carrington song, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that guy is a genius.
He is.
Because every time I go up there, everybody knows what song I'm going to sing, and it works.
It works every time.
Every time. And I'm a horrible singer. So they're just in it for it's just fun.
Just to flash.
Yep.
And Rodney Carrington wasn't a bad singer.
No.
Actually.
No, he wasn't.
He wasn't.
He had that, he wrote that one serious song that was for his friend that had passed away. Did you ever hear that? I don't remember what it was called. But it was a really good song. He wrote it and sang it, and you're right, he's a good singer.
He actually is.
And I gotta be honest, nowadays I'd rather listen to him sing than tell jokes. His last special was not very good.
I didn't see it.
It was,
I didn't see the
I think he was in
last
Tulsa. Was where he filmed his last special.
Yeah.
And it was just. First of all, he gained a bunch of weight.
Mm-hmm.
And he just came out there and looked like he'd just gotten off work.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's wearing some old work boots, some jeans that looked like he'd been mowing in, and just a flannel button down with the
Sounds
sleeves
like
rolled up.
my last date. No, the dude we were just talking about. He went to dinner the first time. He shows off in some cut off sleeve tank top, some work boots.
That was the first time y'all met to go to dinner?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where you should have drawn the line. If you'd have told me about that part, that's where I would have drawn the line.
All right, so no dudes in tank tops.
And I don't know. I mean, if he shows up and he looks like that's his style, I guess that could be one thing. But if he looked like he just didn't give a shit and that's just how he showed up,
Well, I think
you can't take the time to put on a decent shirt.
I think that's his style, but I also do recall seeing nicer shirts in his closet. You know, when I was over there.
Are you you go through their shit when you're at their house?
No, I could. His
when
closet
you use
doors.
the restroom, do you check the medicine cabinet?
His closet doors were open, so that was our second date. That was our second date, not our first. So I may have just told on myself, but his closet doors were open, and I do recall seeing nicer clothes in that closet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I just don't like that. I don't like when people don't put out any effort.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, well, he put out nothing.
Yeah. Narcissistic. That's the word we were trying to think of.
Oh, my God.
He's a narcissist.
You think he's a narcissist?
Yeah, he's just self-absorbed. He's all about himself. That's all he talks about. Narcissist.
The need for attention on him had to be so much, and it was so bad that we're all eating lunch the next day at this big table, like 10 of us. It got quiet for a second, and attention wasn't on him. And all of a sudden, he says, "Do you know that when you eat corn, it comes out whole when you go to the bathroom?" Yeah.
Also, he's a narcissistic 9-year-old. Wow.
That was my date for the weekend.
You had a whole weekend of that.
I had a whole weekend of it. A whole weekend.
That's tough.
Like, who's bringing up those subjects at dinner?
9-year-olds.
That was the second time I wondered if maybe he was mentally challenged. And I was just, my judgment was that bad.
That's where you were at was, oh my God, when am I going to start making better decisions?
Yeah.
But it took you that long.
Yeah. So maybe I have something wrong with me.
That's what I used to say that all the time, and I say that when when I get into my whole set that's about being married and my wife and whatever. I talk about how she's the smartest person I've ever known. But then when I think about it, she's been married to me for 20 years, so obviously there's something wrong with her.
You really think that, though?
I do. Man, I've put my wife through the ringer.
Yeah.
And she's stuck around through all of it. So I don't really think she's slow, but she's an angel.
An angel, yes.
Ain't nobody putting up with this shit. You know? And
can't?
it's all personality, because and I got no money.
You can't, well, he didn't have any money either. You can't be as bad as the people that I have dated. You can't be.
As far as being a person? A bad
I don't know
person?
that they were people.
Yeah. No. I think I'm a good person.
Yeah.
I definitely think I'm a good person. I've made lots of bad decisions that she's had to pick the pieces up of.
Yeah.
That's where I was, she's come and picked me up from jail.
Mm-hmm.
She's gotten late night phone calls of me being places I wasn't supposed to be, and we've worked through all of it. And I know that now that has led to, it doesn't happen as much as it used to, but we used to regularly get phone calls from friends that were like, "Hey, can we come by and talk to you?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's up? So they'd come over and they're like, "How are y'all making it work? How are you overlooking this? How are you forgiving for that? And how are, and that was always our biggest deal is that everything that we've done has been as a team."
Mm-hmm.
And I will say this: here's the number one thing is if you decide that you're going to forgive, let it go.
Let it go.
You have to, because I'm not saying forget. I'm not saying forgive and forget. You're never going to forget if somebody's done you wrong. But you have to let it go. You can't bring it up. You can't keep throwing it in their face every time there's an argument or a dispute, because if you do, it's never going to go away. You're never going to get past it. It's always going to be there. So now you just wind up this stuff keeps piling up instead of, okay, that happened, but it's back there. It happened, it's back there. Still in your mind. You still remember it. You're never going to forget that stuff. But once you've made the decision to forgive, let it go. You have to move on.
That mentality's not there anymore. Let's work through things. That's not there anymore.
Oh, yeah. No. People treat marriage like Facebook friends.
Yeah, they do.
I'll just unfriend you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so sad. It's really, really sad. So as a joke, not really as a joke, but one of my wife's cousins came to me and said, "Hey, you should get ordained so that you can do our wedding." I was like, "I'll look into it and see what that's about." Should be illegal how easy it is to get ordained.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. I'm not ordained myself, but
Well, I am.
Pretty easy.
And I did it so that I could do that one wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then word got out, and I've now done like 6.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I just did one last weekend.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You didn't tell me about this.
So, but then when I started doing it, I was like, man, I don't mind. And the only reason people are asking me to do their wedding because they want it to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they want me to crack jokes and make the ceremony fun.
Do you come with karaoke? I mean, is there like a DJ booth?
No. But I do still, I still want to make sure that people are taking it serious.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I still go and I like, hey, yeah, I'll do it, but we need to visit beforehand. Like, I'll make it fun.
Oh,
I'll
you
crack
did that
jokes.
whole counselor.
Not really. No, I don't want to say counselor, but I just want, hey, like, you guys realize, like, this should be forever. Like, y'all should be making a forever decision.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have everything in line? Are you sure this is what you want to do? Because as of right now, I've got a perfect record.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've not married anybody who is now divorced.
Really?
And I don't know. And that's just kind of in my own head. I'm keeping tally of that. Like, I want to keep that record going.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that with the wedding that I just did, but I'll tell you why. It's super funny. This lady who she works at a store that I frequent, a smoke shop, and I go in there almost every day and get to visiting with them and get friendly with them, and it comes out that I'm ordained because she hears about me doing another wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And then she comes to me and she's like, "Hey, I got an idea. I want you to marry us." I'm like, "Cool. I'd love to. It'd be awesome." And she goes, "But he's not going to know." I'm like, What? How's this going to work?" And she goes, "Okay, here's the plan. He's bringing kids to the relationship. She's bringing kids to the relationship. Right. Her kid's dad, not in the picture at all anymore. So, but her and this guy, they've been together for quite a while. He's going to walk my daughter down the aisle. Mm-hmm. Well, here's what we want to do is he and I both are going to walk her down the aisle. And then when we get up there, I want you to say, "Hey, mother of the bride has something she'd like to say first," and then she's going to turn around and propose to him. And as long as he says yes, then now we'll carry on with the wedding ceremony. But the daughter is not getting married at all. She's just a decoy.
Yeah.
And I was like, what if he says no? And here's my biggest deal was sometimes guys are too macho about that, and that would make them feel uncomfortable or feel belittled to have a girl propose to them, especially in front of all of your friends and family.
Really?
I think that there are guys out there that would bother. So I talked to her about it. I was like, "Are you sure about this? Are you sure? Like, what percentage sure are you this is going to go the way you want it to go?" And she says, "I'm 99% sure. Like, there's always a chance that it could bother him and tilt him the other way." She goes, "But I'm 99% chance." Okay, let's do it. So we do it, and they get up there, and I said, "Mother of the bride has something she'd like to say first." She turns around, and it's an outside wedding, and it's hot. And she goes, "I want to thank everybody for coming out today. We know that it's hot, it's uncomfortable. Thank you for coming and sharing this special day with us. But first, there's something I need to do." Mm-hmm. And she walked to his dad that was sitting on the front row, mm-hmm. and kind of leaned down and whispered in his ear as though she was asking his permission. And then she turned around and she said, "I love you. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Will you marry me?"
And he said...
And he was like, "Well, I will." And she's like, "Okay, then we're going to get married right now." And he's like, "What?" She goes, "Yeah, daughter's not getting married. This has all been..."
It was a prank wedding.
This has all been a prank for you. So, and that's how I started it. I was like, well, it's been proven that all relationships that start with secret and deception have been proven to stand the test of time. Mm-hmm. It's just kind of joking with them. But it all worked out, and he cried, and she cried, and it was great. And then I just cracked jokes through the whole ceremony, and it all worked out good.
Did you guys record it?
I don't know if they recorded it or not. I didn't record it. I felt like it'd be weird to record somebody else's wedding.
Maybe, but I mean, people record weddings.
And then we hung out and got drunk afterwards.
Well, it's not like you had a good time.
Worked out perfect.
People are out there getting married by Matt Farrell, and I'm having one failed date after another, and it's not working out.
Luck of the draw, I guess.
Do you remember why I didn't like the nice guy?
Why?
Because his name was Jeff.
You can't hold that against the guy. It's not his fault. His parents' shitty taste in names.
I know, but that is why...
No offense to other Jeffs.
That's why I couldn't. I just
really?
couldn't know. Here I am, like, okay with some dude's
You ain't got to worry about
bed
saying
bugs
the wrong name.
and small penis, but I'm not okay with the name Jeff.
That's like a little bit of a safety net. You ain't got to worry about...
That name is associated with lots of things, though.
I guess so.
Yeah. Would it be wrong to have a relationship with somebody and be like, "Can I call you something else, please?"
Just make up your own little nickname.
Yeah,
for him.
nickname.
Little cute name.
And they'll never know.
You don't have to tell him. Like, I'm not calling you by your real name because that's also my ex's name, and I fucking hate him. I don't want to hate you, so I'm going to call you Tom.
Tom. Yeah.
Maybe something a little cuter than that. Maybe don't call him Tom.
So let me ask you, how does somebody in this world go from the just having sex, getting to know each other, or hanging out, or whatever process to we're in a relationship? Because there is this huge gray area for me. This huge gray area. How does that happen? How does the transition happen? Somebody please explain this to me.
From just like hooking up to actually being in a relationship?
Going from getting to know somebody, I'm just getting to know you, which seems to be a favorite line among people. Guys, I'm just getting to know you. What does that mean? Okay, how long is it going to take to get to know me?
It's a safety cord.
Yes, it's a safety cord. So how do you get past that point?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like maybe you should hold back a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Don't let them get to know you quite as well. Make them. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
You're saying don't sleep with people too early.
Yeah. Definitely don't sleep with people. Don't just run out there and give it away. Especially if you're looking for a relationship.
Yeah.
Because if I can go out to dinner with a girl and on the first night, like she's just giving it away, I mean, how many other people she had dinner with? Is she not taking it? Is that all it is for her?
Yeah.
It's just dinner and a hookup? Which, if that's the case, that's fine. But that's not what I'm here for.
Right. Well, I've not done that. Like I said, this last person was like, I'm all about looking for a relationship. Yeah. He failed to mention it just was not with me. Isn't that clever? Till the very end.
It is kind of shitty. Go, I'm looking for a serious relationship.
Yeah, I looked at this.
I want to sleep with you until I find that.
Yeah, it's pretty much what he was telling me, and he didn't tell me that till the very end. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Leaving out some important details there. Josh.
I'm going
to keep throwing his name under the bus. Fuck you, Josh. No.
I wouldn't do that to somebody. I have had to tell dudes in the beginning, like first date or, even first time they've talked to me online, hey, not interested. Because, I have to... Attraction has to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not everything, but it has to be there.
Well, and that's where I differ.
Yeah.
I do. Everybody, I've always heard that, and you say that, and people say that because they mean the right thing. I just don't think that it's accurate when people say that looks aren't everything. Mm-hmm. I believe that looks are everything. They are everything. Because, and I'm not saying you've got to be a supermodel, but you do have to make yourself presentable. You have to make yourself desirable. When a guy walks into a dinner date and he's wearing a sleeveless shirt, he put no effort into it.
Yeah.
If a girl walks in and she's got her hair up in a messy bun and decided not to do her makeup and she's just wearing sweatpants and a hoodie, now don't get me wrong, once you're in a relationship, that's hot. But when you're first getting to know, like, I just want to know that you're willing to put out effort for me,
right?
Just like I would be willing to put out effort for you, So, I think that looks are everything. Again, I'm not saying that you have to be a supermodel, but you have to make yourself look presentable.
Right, you do.
Because nobody's going to get to know what's on the inside,
except me over here, just like excusing everything.
Yeah. You're just like, oh yeah, that's fine. You don't have to be clean. You don't have to wear decent clothes to the date. You don't have to have any other kind of conversation besides about yourself. Yeah, I can overlook it. You can have a small penis. God, that's forgiving.
I don't want to be considered shallow, so I go overboard, to not be shallow, and then in some weird way I end up falling for people that I'm not being shallow with,
I do. Like, I don't know where that. I'm sure that there's a line, and it's probably a thin line where you go from I'm not being shallow, but now I'm being overly forgiving.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta, and I think there's a difference. There's a difference in being picky and being shallow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, look for what you want. Look for what you're interested in. If they don't meet that criteria, then you're just not interested, because those are the things you are looking for. Now, if you're like, I'm not even going to give them the time of day because they drive an older vehicle and, you know, are not wearing $500 shoes.
Right.
That's wrong. That's a little bit shallow, you know. But as far, like, I mean, it's okay to be picky, especially if you're trying to look for something serious.
Yeah, you're right.
Which, for whatever reason, you're being goofy and trying to find something serious.
You don't think I should find something serious?
I don't think that you should be looking strictly for something serious. I don't think that you should be, like, just relax. Like, you just came out of a long marriage.
I did.
Just relax. I don't think that you should be looking for another husband.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Relax.
I didn't even really know how to respond to that. Some weird sound came out of my mouth. Some weird sound and face that I'm not familiar with.
That happens to me whenever cops are questioning me. I don't know what sound.
Really? That's what I did.
I just make weird noises. They automatically assume you're intoxicated when you do that.
Yeah.
Most of the time with me, they're right. But, just relax. Just settle down. I'm not going to tell you, if you wait, the right one will come to you. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, don't be in a big hurry to find him.
Yeah.
You know? And don't think that every single one that you meet, there's a possibility that they are that guy. Chances are very, very slim.
Chances are very slim, huh?
Very slim that some random dude you meet online. What was we looked up statistics the other day.
Oh, we did look at, and while I was sitting at my, in my studio in front of my soundboard crying yesterday, it was ironic because those statistics were still right there in front of me. Just right there.
Staring you back.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I think that everybody's focus should be on having a good life and having fun.
Yeah.
Eventually, the person whose interests align with yours, you'll wind up meeting if you continue to do the things that you enjoy to do, because they're going to be there also.
Well, then I have to put other things besides sex in there, so.
Yeah, you're going to have to lengthen your bio.
Yeah. Just a little bit.
That explains so much. Yeah, gotta work on that. Man, you really gotta hypnotize me so I can quit doing that.
Yeah, I need to.
Oh, I'm always going to ask you questions about the hypnotherapy stuff.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
It's super intrigues me. You told me the three main reasons are anxiety, quitting tobacco or whatever, and weight loss.
Yeah. For me, the clients will come to me, three main reasons.
Okay. Let me just ask you this. What is the most interesting, like, kind of off-the-wall thing that somebody has come to you saying, hey, can you hypnotize me and help me with this?
Oh, have I told you about my trip to Missouri?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that was by far the most interesting thing that I think I have been asked to hypnotize somebody for.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I shared that story with a friend of mine.
Uh-huh.
And her very first thing was, has she done a follow-up and made sure that lady's still alive?
I have not. That was 3 years ago. Yes, I did not do a follow-up. I was so, like scared to get out of there.
Yeah.
Like, I just wanted out of there.
Yeah.
That I wasn't thinking, about anyone or anything else.
Yeah, you're just self-preservation.
Yeah, I was like, get out of there.
Well, I get that.
Yeah.
Well, so, have you ever had anybody ask for for themselves, like, just odd, like, is this something you can help me with?
I mean, people come in for confidence issues, sexual health. There's some people that have come in there for that. I had a preacher come in before because he just didn't feel like he could stand up in front of a congregation anymore and preach, which it was ironic to me because if he would read his Bible and understand things in the Spirit the way he needs to understand that ability is already within him and he can access it from within himself,
Yeah.
So I thought that was ironic, but the Missouri trip was probably the weirdest one in my life I have ever had to deal with.
It's pretty crazy.
And demons and
And really, it was just
medicated people.
Really, he was just trying to get his wife to tattle on herself.
Trying to get his wife to tattle on herself.
That's crazy.
That's a tall scheme. That's a lot of money. Yeah, just for that little bit of admission.
But, let me ask you, and you don't have to answer this if you don't want to. What did you charge him to go all the way up there to do that? Because you thought it was just going to be like a regular session,
right?
So for a regular session, but to drive all the way up there, what?
I drove up there. I charged him like $600.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that
was a lot.
But I also feel like he knew that he was up to something. That's what, because there has to be somebody closer to him that he could have got.
Exactly. There had to have been another
That's
hypnotist.
why he wanted somebody from way off and was willing to pay it, so that way
Yeah.
maybe he could get away with a little more.
Yep.
That's crazy. Crazy. Have you had anybody that's like, I know you said sexual health, but like, hey, can you hypnotize me and make me better?
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah. I've had people come in there for that. Yeah.
But while you got me under, you might throw a couple of those spells on me too.
Okay.
Yeah, help me quit dipping, but also go, hey, you could be doing better.
Be a sex machine.
Yeah.
There might be a self-hypnosis script for that somewhere.
That's hilarious. What else you got? You got anything else going on?
That's it. Just my sad dating life that has to stop at some point.
It does.
Yeah.
You know where that happens.
You become an alcoholic, get on drugs, I don't know.
No. I was just going to say with you. It starts with you, or it ends with you.
It ends with
you
me.
You have to start making better decisions.
I have to start making better decisions.
You have to stop worrying about stuff. It's not shallow if you're being picky.
Yeah, and I don't know where I got that idea not to be so shallow. Like, I feel like it was forced on me. You know, like, it's such a thing I worry about. I don't know where that came from, but I do worry about it.
Yeah.
And I tend to go dumpster diving because of that.
Well, I would say there's probably not ever been anybody who's like not attractive that's been accused of being shallow. I would say that's probably something that people only accuse attractive people of being.
Yeah.
You know, so that's probably something that you have heard somebody may have accused you of in the past or something, and the only reason that they said that to you is because you're pretty.
You know, everybody sees themselves different, though. I don't really see myself as pretty, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody sees themselves different. So.
Yeah. But when it comes to other people, their perception of you, they're doing it based on the way they see you.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever it was that said that to you at any point in time, they did see you.
And it's stuck here, you know?
Yeah.
It's stuck.
Yeah, and somebody who is educated in the ways that the mind works...
I could fix that.
Should see that
I could
coming.
fix that.
Can you hypnotize yourself?
I can. You can do self-hypnosis, which is basically meditation. Yeah.
How do you come out of it?
You
I don't know. I'm just
give
I'm
yourself
still...
just like you do in regular hypnosis, you give yourself the wake-up cue. You know, you wake up. I usually count from 1 to 5.
And you can do that to yourself?
Yeah, I can. I've been doing it for years. You know, I went to school 6-7 years ago for it, so I've been doing it for years. It's just, and you're in and out of that state. I mean, sometimes I will do hypnosis, and I do not advise this for anyone else, but I will do it while I'm driving because I
seems
feel
like a bad idea.
I feel well. I don't go to sleep. I just feel like I'm more zoned in and focused. You know. Yeah, but it's not a good idea for other people.
Have you ever? This was a really weird thing. I went to a what do you call it? A prom.
Mm-hmm.
With a girl from a small town, and they had an entertainer come at their prom, and he did hypnosis.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't go up there because I would rather, in things like I would rather watch. I want to see they're going to make people cluck like a chicken and do weird shit like that. So, but have you ever done anything like in front of a group or for entertainment purposes?
I've never done anything for entertainment purposes. No, never have.
You just never have, or is it like you just don't agree with it, or is it like?
I'm sure it's fine for some people, but I think that it is such a serious subject, and it actually is a very valuable tool that people tend to put it out there in the public and make it seem like a joke. You know?
Which is there's a lot of people that just don't believe.
Right.
And like you were saying, if you're strong in your head that you just don't believe in it, it won't work for you.
Right. You have to want the change, you know?
Right. Have you ever seen street performers do it?
I have.
Yeah. I really like watching that.
You do?
I enjoy seeing, but I mean, I'm not saying like somebody that goes out there and hypnotizes folks and then jacks their wallet and their watch and all that shit and then brings them back to life as they walk away.
Yeah.
But where they just make it a fun experience, a fun exchange for people on the street. I think that's neat. But I like up close personal entertainment, things that are, like street magic where people do magic right in front of you, things like I really enjoy watching that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, that's why I was just wondering if it was anything you'd ever done.
No, never done that.
What do you think, because I've talked to you about hypnotizing me before and taking care of some stuff. Like I need to quit dipping. The whole weight loss thing, probably a big thing. We could work on that too.
We do it today if you want. We can do it after we get done with our podcast.
Well, I was thinking, what if we did it? But you're not going to make me do nothing crazy, huh?
No, you wouldn't do anything you didn't want to do anyway.
I do a lot of dumb shit.
Okay, well.
I do a lot of dumb shit. So, no, not yet. Not yet. I don't know. I feel like even in, like, I know it's definitely, because I do believe in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm 100% in. But I also feel like, I don't know, for whatever reason, like, I'm not mentally ready to do it yet.
It's because you don't want to get rid of your habits. That's why.
Yeah.
You don't want to get rid of your habits. You want to keep them right now. You like your dipping.
I like eating.
You like your eating. You're not ready to get rid of them.
But I did. And when I was telling that friend of ours the story about your Missouri trip the other day, because it was me and her and Tana, my wife, we were all riding around, matter of fact, we was on our way to karaoke a couple weeks ago, and I was telling them about it, and she's like, what all does she do hypnosis for? And I told her the 3 main things that you told me about or whatever, and she goes, oh, I could definitely use the weight loss and stuff. I was like, well,
Yeah, it's a really, really valuable tool for weight loss.
Work on getting y'all hooked up.
It is.
Do you have a webpage for it?
I have a webpage, I do. And I have a Facebook page for it as well.
Really?
Yeah. In my
How
office...
have I known you this long and I don't know none of this?
I don't know. Are you a narcissist?
No. It's because all we talk about is your bad dates.
Yes, that is all we talk about.
And me telling you to stop doing it.
And then I don't listen.
And then we get back together and you go, oh, guess what I did again?
Same cycle, over and over again.
That's vicious. You need to do some self-meditating.
I do. I really do.
Talk yourself into valuing your time better.
Yeah, I do.
Well,
perhaps I'll work on that on my drive home.
I really think, I get what you're saying. You're a trained professional. But I really think it's a bad idea to do while you're driving.
Well, people drive while they're high, don't they?
Yeah, they're not supposed to do that either.
Well, I drive pretty good that way, so.
High or under a spell?
Either.
Not a spell. I don't know what
spell. What?
What do you call it? Not a spell. What do you call it?
The hypnosis.
Yeah, under hypnosis.
Yeah, I drive like I'm right there. I'm focused.
I think the same thing when I'm drinking.
And
That's
I'm not
illegal also.
Screaming at anybody or yelling or following anybody home.
My wife needs to be hypnotized while she's driving then. She's constantly screaming at people while she's driving.
People don't know how to drive here. I'm just going to be honest. They don't.
It's terrible. And here's, we could talk about that for hours, and this is what I attribute the bad drivers around here to, is because of the military base.
Really?
So we have people from all over the country, and they're used to driving in other places where people are stupid, so then they bring that stupid driving here. So now we're on our little 4-lane highway that's been a main thoroughfare for us, and to them, this is the speedway.
Yeah.
That's because they're used to driving and because they're coming from bigger cities or whatever.
Well, I will say the people in Texas are polite when they drive. They will pull over if they're not going fast enough for you, and you can pass them.
Some of them.
Some of them, not all of them.
When was it? 2 days ago. This is a whole story. And I can't disclose all of it on here because it's going to be in my act. But it's a true story. I'm very, very respectful when I see a funeral. And I've taught my kids to be the same way. Excuse me. I pull over. I remove my hat. Like and it pisses me off when I see people that don't.
Yes.
Oh,
They're just driving, not paying attention. I have accidentally joined a funeral procession before.
I accidentally merged into one the other day. I don't have a pike pass, so I'm going through the regular part of the toll booth. And then I speed up and I merge right in. And I'm like, why do all these people have their emergency flashers on?
Mm-hmm.
And then my son, who's riding with me, is like, I'm pretty sure the first car in this line is a hearse. And I was like, oh my God. But there's cars behind me and down in front of me. I didn't know what to do. Just reached up and turned my hazards on.
Just go with it.
I did.
Just go with it.
I did, and it went so much further than that.
Then how much further did it go?
I can tell you about it when we turn this off.
Oh,
Like I said,
okay, you gotta save it.
It's definitely going into the act because what an idiot I am. What an idiot.
You see, you might be more polite than I am because I think I might know where the story's going, but I cut in, and then cut right out of there when I found a place to get away after I had passed all those red lights.
Yeah.
I didn't do it on purpose. It's an accident.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, and that's what I was going to say is while I'm riding, because I'm now part of this funeral procession, the only vehicle, and I'm watching the rear view, and people are like, they'd come up and they're like, oh, it's a funeral, so they back off.
You're right.
Being polite. The only vehicle that went ahead and kept on going and passed us was a truck from Texas. And I was like, you sorry son of a gun.
Now, they knew better. You would think.
Here, I'll give you an idea of how much further this went. They wound up taking my exit.
Yeah.
So I was going to be exiting here anyway. I was thinking as they go, I'll go ahead and take my exit.
Right.
We all took my exit.
So then what?
Then I was still part of the funeral procession. I didn't know what to do. I panicked and became
part of it.
I went with it.
Sometimes you just got to.
I went with it. I didn't know what else to do.
Sometimes you just got to go with it. Which has been my theory in dating, and it's wrong, so.
Sometimes you just got to go with it and look where it's wound up.
Yeah. It's got to be nowhere.
Well, I'm glad that you came out. I'm glad that you visited with me. I'm glad. Your poor decisions continue to make good topics of conversation.
They do. They do.
So.
But I would really just rather not have any more poor decisions.
We can find other things to talk about.
Yeah.
I hope you're not doing this just for the sake of us having conversation.
No.
There's other things we can talk about.
I just have to see you so bad.
There you go. I
understand.
I understand. It's because of my good personality.
It is. It's that personality, ladies.
There you go. No, I'm married. Anyway, but again, thanks for coming out. I appreciate you coming and visiting with me. We'll definitely do it again. I'll get this poorly edited because that's the only type of editing I know to do. And it'll get uploaded and be on there before too long. And then, guys, keep watching. Kristen Rochelle, check her out on Facebook, and then there'll be links for your, your other endeavors.
Yes, and then New Country 95.
Yeah, New Country 98.5. And I'll put a link to her Facebook in the description for this video, so that way you can just click on that and be able to find her. For professional reasons.
Yes, for professional
reasons. Leave her alone unless you're ready for a relationship.
That's right. That's right.
So, we'll stop it. Anyway, all right, guys. Hey, thanks very much for tuning in. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, share this video with as many people as you can. They're either going to love us or hate us. Either way, they're going to know who we are, and that's the point. Appreciate it, guys. This is Fat Merrill, and I'll be back.